Hey, what's up everybody? It's Carlos Collects Comics and I'm back with another episode of Monday Hauls. This is the series where I'm going to show you what I've picked up over the past few weeks. I'm going to make a spotlight pick and I'm going to make a spec pick, and I might give a little bit of insight into some of the books that I snagged. But all that's coming right up after this little credit roll. So stay tuned. Alright, hey, let's get started. It's another episode of Monday Hauls, and I've got 3 stacks of books here. I've got brand new books that just came out this past week. I've got some back issue pickups from my LCS, and I've got a pretty good sized stack of books that I picked up at a small local convention. There's always some good dealers there with tons of long boxes, and I love to dig through them. So let's get started. This week's new books, my spotlight and spec pick for the week was Primordial, #1. This is a brand new 6-issue series from Image that tells a story of a monkey and a dog and their really long space flight. So I am really looking forward to reading this. I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited. I picked up cover A, cover B, and cover C for this one. I didn't get any of the ratio variants for this one because they were already gone by the time I got there, and there's only so many ratios that one can pick up over the course of a month. So I just got those, but I'm really excited about. That's why I'm spotlighting it, and I'm saying it's a really cool spec piece to pick up. I personally am a big fan of stories where the animals act as humans, and just where it's an animal-centric story. So I've loved stories like We Three, Pride of Baghdad, and recently Stray Dogs. So this seemed like another one that I wanted to pick up. So I'm recommending it to you. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think of it, if you do end up picking it up or if you did pick it up. Also, I've picked this one before. Bermuda #3 just came out. The art on this is stunning. And the story continues to not disappoint. It's fairly simple, but I'm just really enjoying the world that they've built, and the artwork by Bradshaw is just stunning consistently. I mean, 3 months in a row now, it's been one of my favorite ones that I look forward to reading. So I recommend Bermuda as well. Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures, The Monster of Temple Peak #2 came out. This is an offshoot of the main High Republic Adventures title that's going on right now. Moths #1. This was actually a back issue pick. It's a few months old, but I'm a big fan of Straczynski ever since Rising Stars, and so somebody told me that Moths was pretty good. I also picked up Telepaths #1. I think this is the B cover, and because I'd only gotten the A cover earlier, and again, like I said, I'm a Straczynski fan, and those are my new book pickups for the week. A few of my back issue pickups, some of you might have seen this one before, the Avengers #267. This is the first appearance of the Council of Kangs. This is a book that I'm picking them up where I see them because they're still fairly cheap, but I think with Kang being the next big bad for the MCU and for him appearing in multiple projects, I really think we're going to see a lot more of him. I think we're going to see a lot more variants of him, and so I think this idea, the concept of the Council of Kangs is going to be a big deal moving forward. So I picked this one up. This is actually a VF to VF plus, probably higher with a good press. I also picked up Booster Gold #10. This is from the 2008 series. Keep an eye out in a future video because I'm going to explain the significance of this book. Not a lot of people have, I think, picked up on it yet, but it's definitely one that you should snag if you come across it. They're not more than $5 each, and they're well worth it. Avengers #273. This is the 25th anniversary cover featuring the Black Knight. I saw it, decided to snag it. This is my era of the Avengers. I loved the Mansion takeover and all the, the team that was running during that time, because that's kind of the time period that I was growing up. Yes, 86, so that's when I was starting to read comic books, so there's a nostalgia factor there. But I saw that Black Knight's a big one moving forward, so I decided to snag that. Also, another one that another little subset that I've been picking up anytime I come across the any high grade copies and high grade affordable copies of the Fantasy Masterpiece or Tales to Astonish reprints of some of the original Marvel 60 series. I'd go ahead and grab them. These are the 80s reprints. So this was Tales to Astonish number 5, reprinting the first appearance of Tiger Shark, and then Tales to Astonish number 6, which reprints the second part of that story in that iconic cover. These are both high grade, at least 9.2, probably a bit higher. So I went ahead and grabbed them and added those to my stack. Now, these are the local convention pickups that I did. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because I want to get through all of them as much as possible. Lady Zorro number 1, because I'm a Zorro fan, and apparently now we have to have a sexy female version of Zorro for people to care about it. But that's from a few years ago. 2014. It's from quite a few years ago. Yet another copy of Booster Gold number 10. Snagged that. Agents of Atlas number 1. I know this isn't the big one that everybody's chasing, but I decided, hey, I'll go ahead and snag that and keep that. Another copy of Tales to Astonish number 5, the first Tiger Shark appearance. Marvel Superheroes number 87, featuring who? Kang versus the Hulk. Marvel Tales number 150, featuring Spidey versus the Sinister Six. Saw this, decided to pick it up. Here we've got, so Star Slayer. I picked up Star Slayer number 2, I think a few months back before it spiked with the announcement of the Rocketeer reboot. But I came across a couple of lower grade copies of Star Slayer number 1, which features a 1-page ad for the Rocketeer. This one's water damaged, but I don't know. Press might be able to do it, but I don't know if there's much that can be done for this one. And then Star Slayer number 3, which is the second chapter of the Rocketeer, and this is a good minus. It's got some spots on the back. I did get a second copy of this one also. I'm a fan of the Rocketeer, not just like for any kind of speculative purpose, but I just really like the character and the retro vibe and the character design. So I picked up the first appearance a while back, but wanted to finish out the rest of the story, and so I came across those and decided to get those. Yet again, another, Black Knight number 1. This is from the first miniseries from 1990. Then I was fortunate enough in the back issue bin, in the long box, to find West Coast Avengers. The limited series, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And these were in relatively high grade. I'd put it about near mint minuses, or higher, and maybe higher with the press. But yeah, that's one of those fun ones that I wanted to go ahead and read and check out, and who knows, we might see some iteration of multiple Avengers teams, and that would be kind of neat, I think, because I've always liked the multiple teams thing and people picking and choosing, and I just love that cover of Hawkeye and surrounded by all the different characters that he might choose to be a part of the team. To help with my G.I. Joe run, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen these 4 by now. These are 4 more single issues of G.I. Joe, number 54. And these are all high grade. Number 68, number 69, that new Destro armor, and then number 129. I had no idea that this book was valued as much as it is, because it is one of the later ones, but it does carry quite a bit bigger price tag than I had realized, and there was a stack of them in the long box. I should have grabbed more than one. But those are my G.I. Joes that I added to the collection. I also picked up Marvel Premiere number 49, very low grade copy. It's a fine plus. It's the Falcon's first full length adventure. I love these Marvel Premieres. They had some really cool stories in them. This one was just a random lark. This is the new Captain Marvel in the Avengers. It has a tear, and it does have some pretty extensive water damage, but I don't know. I got it for 50 cents, so I'm not going to not take that. The Amazing Spider-Man number 315. This is kind of Venom's first cover appearance. Not really. It's not the one that anybody really cares about, but this classic McFarlane art. It's part when I was a teenager. It's part of what was the big thing, and so I do like to snag these every once in a while. I'm usually a fan of the McFarlane Star Wars, or not Star Wars, the Spider-Man Volume 1 run that he did, where it was all Todd McFarlane, but the Amazing Spider-Mans are starting to get my attention too, and I think everybody else, because they are starting to get fairly pricey. But I saw this, I decided to go and pick it up because that dealer always cuts me a really good deal on his books and gives me a steep discount without me even asking about it. So, I mean, that's the best kind of convention dealer. Amazing Spider-Man number 257 also. This is about a VF to VF Plus. Definitely needs a press. This is the first Ned Leeds as Hobgoblin. It's also the second appearance of the Puma, who's on the front cover. Last book that I want to show you. This one was just a fun pickup. This is Marvel Tales number 137, and it is representing Amazing Fantasy 15, the original, the first appearance of Spider-Man. And it also has the origin of Doctor Strange by Leon Ditko on reprinted here. So this was just, this was one of those fun nostalgia things that I decided to pick up. These Marvel Tales books are really neat because they're fairly affordable. Marvel Tales, Tales to Astonish, Fantasy Masterpiece, all these different ones that are reprints of the older Silver Age stuff, and these were done in the 80s, the early 80s. These are great pickups to be getting right now, and they are seeing an uptick in price. My son is interested in Silver Surfer, so I've started to look for Fantasy Masterpieces of those because the originals are just so, those are such heavy investment books that's going to be something that he's going to have to really make a determination if that's the route he wants to go. But the Fantasy Masterpiece reprintings of the Silver Surfer are a really neat book, and so I recommend getting these reprints now while you can, because even these reprints are starting to rise in value. And as for just sheer reading purposes, people can always get like an omnibus or a trade paperback or collected edition. But the collectability of these reprint issues is starting to, we're seeing it go up and up. So that has been this episode of Monday Hauls. I've enjoyed getting to share these books with you. I hope that something that I shared was of help to you. And I want to remind you about the Spotlight and Spec pickup for this week, which is Primordial. Tell me in the comments, what did you think of it? Did you read it? Did you even pick it up? Were you even aware that it came out this week? Let me know, because I love getting comments and I love getting feedback, and I try my best to respond to every single comment that comes in. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing to the channel. We're approaching 200 subscribers, which for me is a big milestone because it's happened far faster than I expected it to. Also, on Instagram, I'm approaching 2,000 followers. So I'm really excited about these two things, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway around those. It's going to be the 200, 2,000, the road to 200/2000. And I'm going to be doing some giveaways. You might even see a couple of these books as the giveaways, because I love to put back into the community. That is a whole bunch of fun for me to interact with. So thank you again for watching this video. Hey, make sure to like the video. Make sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of this week's pickups. Also, I want you to consider subscribing to the channel because I've got a whole lot more videos that are coming down the pipe, including spotlighting why I picked up some of these random books, because there is a little bit of method to the madness. Well, this has been Cross Collects Comics. This has been another episode of Monday Hauls, and thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see you next time.